Hi guys! To kick off the first day of fall, I'm sharing an apple crumb cake. This cake has a layer of cake topped with apples and a crispy buttery brown sugar crumble. Now that I've enticed you, let's get started. First, I'm going to make the brown sugar crumble topping. To flour, I'm adding cinnamon, brown sugar, and cold butter cut into tiny pieces. I'm going to get in there with my hands and rub the butter into the flour to form the crumble. If you would like to make this cake, the full recipe will be linked in the description box below. This recipe is on my blog where I share many other recipes just like this. Now on to the second layer. And for that, I'm going to need an apple. I'm using a Granny Smith apple because it's perfect for baking. I'm going to core, peel, and then cut the apple into thin slices. This cake is a favorite in our house, and believe it or not, I only make it in the fall. It just screams fall to me, and I save it for that time of year. I'm going to place the thinly sliced apples into a small bowl and mix with brown sugar. Now I'm going to get started on the dry ingredients for the cake. To the flour, I'm going to add baking powder, cinnamon, nutmeg, and stir it together. Now I'm going to set this aside and then I'm going to get started on creaming the butter and sugar together. I'm using my stand-up mixer, but you can use a hand mixer as well. And I'm mixing this on a high speed. Be sure to scrape down the sides of the bowl periodically. Once the butter has been mixed for a few minutes, I'm going to add the eggs one at a time. I like to crack the eggs into a separate bowl just in case the egg is bad or if there are any eggshells, that way it wouldn't mix into the mix. Next, I'm going to beat this well on high before adding another egg. Repeat this process until all the eggs are added. Once all of the eggs have been added, it's time to add vanilla extract. Now I'm going to add the flour in two batches. First, I'm going to add half of the flour and mix on low. Now that the flour has mixed in, I am going to add apple cider. If you can't find apple cider, then you can substitute with apple juice, but I find that apple cider works best. Now I'm adding the second half of the flour, and once this has been mixed, I'm going to add in the second half of the apple cider. And this is what the batter should look like. It should be pretty light and fluffy. Just be sure to scrape the bottom of the bowl to make sure everything is mixed in. Next, I'm going to prepare the baking pan, and I am going to coat it with grease and then lightly dust with flour. This ensures that the cake doesn't stick to the pan. And I am just shaking and lightly tapping the pan to make sure the flour coats the bottom and sides of the pan. Now that the pan is coated, I am going to add the cake mix to the pan. Using my spatula, I'm going to spread out the batter to make sure it's nice and even. Now I'm going to add the apples in a thin layer on top of the cake. And I'm adding the apples and all of the juices that were formed. Now I'm going to sprinkle the crumble across the top. I like to keep the crumble in the fridge until I am ready to use it so that the butter stays cold. Spread the crumble to form a nice even layer over the cake and apple slices. Next, I'm going to place it into a preheated oven at 355 degrees for 50 minutes or until golden brown. Once the cake is cool, I'm going to lightly dust it with powdered sugar. This is one of my favorite fall desserts, this and apple pie. Do you guys have a favorite dessert that you only eat at a certain time of year? Let me know below by leaving a comment. This cake smells so good, and let me tell you, it never lasts long in my house. The cake is moist with hints of apple and cinnamon. The apple layer is a sweet gooey surprise, and the brown sugar crumble, my favorite part, is so crunchy and delicious. Can you tell that I love this cake? The link to this recipe is in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you'll be the first to know when there's a new video. See you next time.